Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Today I would like to go over a great Prospector loadout that can help you stay safe and hidden while cracking some high value rocks. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members who allow me to make these kinds of videos, so big thank you to you guys. If you do want to support the channel further, all of the links are in the description below. So this Prospector loadout comes from my friend Nexian, who is a member of the United Earth Mining Corporation, so a big thank you to him for coming up with this setup. I have linked his Urkel loadout in the description below, so you can check it out for yourself. Now before we begin, this is just one loadout that is effective and that I like to use. There are many other potential loadouts and everyone has their go-to, so be sure to share yours in the comments below, as I know many, including myself, would love to see them. Now this particular loadout is great for keeping your signatures super low and reducing your detection range, plus allowing you to crack rocks of 8,000 plus mass. There is a little swapping of components, but I will also go through the mining setup and the process so you can see how it's done. So let us take a look at what components you will want to use. Firstly, remove your weapons. You are not going to need them and you will want your EM as low as possible, and even when turned off, they still require a slight bit of cooling. Only very slightly, but it is still some. Now the Prospector weapons are really more of a false sense of security and you'll do far more damage with the mining laser anyway. But in any case, I do suggest if you come under attack in a Prospector, your best chance is just running, not standing and fighting. So with that out of the way, you will want to equip the Eclipse stealth power plant. This will lower your EM drastically and it is more than enough to power your mining lasers in 3.12. This power plant can be found at Dumper's Depot in Grimhex, Platinum Bay at Port Tressler and Omega Pro at New Babbage, and it costs about 75,000 United Earth credits, so it's not cheap, but it is worth getting. For shields, pick up the Bearing 7SA Concorde from the Platinum Bay at either Herel 3, Herel 5 or Bajani Point. That is 12,650 United Earth credits, and this offers a nice mix of low EM and decent health, so should you accidentally blow up a rock, you'll still stand a chance of surviving it. For the coolers, just leave them as they are. The default coolers are fine. Now this loadout will reduce your EM from around 33,000 to 10,723, meaning your overall targeting range is now around 4 to 4.5 kilometers, which is a big reduction of about 13 to 13.5 kilometers from the default Prospector, which actually has a targetable range of 17 to 18 kilometers. This means that pirates will now need to be within 4.5 kilometers to even stand a chance of actually finding you via a ping. So what laser should you use, what consumables should you use, and how do you crack those larger rocks of 8,000 plus? It does slightly depend on what you plan to mine. The Lancet, for example, is a great laser for mining Quantanium. You do sacrifice some of the larger rocks with its power being so low, but it is still possible to crack rocks within the 8,000 range using consumables, but it will take some finesse. The Helix is good for Laranite, Agricium, Bexolite and so on, and you will be able to break bigger rocks than the Lancet, but again, consumables will be needed. Now a great alternate to the Helix is the Impact Laser, and it really just boils down to what you prefer. The Helix will lower both the resistance and instability of the rock, increase the fracture rate and optimal window, while decreasing the throttle responsiveness and increasing the shatter damage, whereas the Impact lowers the resistance a little bit more, increasing the optimal window and fracture rate, but making the rock more unstable, increasing the shatter damage and overcharge rates. If you are just starting out in mining, I suggest grabbing the Lancet, as it is only 11,000 at the refineries, so it's a good cheap starting point that will decrease instability, resistance and shatter damage drastically. So let me go through the process of how to crack rocks of around 7 to 8,000 mass. Now this technique works great with the Lancet laser, as it increases the size of the optimal window or the green zone by about 40%, and you'll need to use a couple of surge consumables which will give you an instant boost of power plus a stampede for when you're in the green zone. This will help you crack the rock quicker. Now this will cost you about 1400 UEC for the surge and 700 UEC for the stampede at refinery decks. And what you'll want to do is throttle your laser up to maximum and fire a surge, paying close attention to exactly how much your throttle charge level increased to. This will instantly increase your throttle level significantly, and if you land in the green zone, then fire the stampede and you'll get through the green zone and crack the rock quickly. If you are under the green zone, then it gets a little trickier. What you'll want to do is lower your throttle charge level until the power drops enough to where you can fire another surge consumable to have it land directly in the green zone. Now this is why you need to pay attention to how much it increases the charge level, as it can be extremely dangerous firing the second surge in case you land the charge level in the red. The surge consumable increases the shatter damage by 200% and the overcharge rate by 100%, which means you will explode very quickly if you are in the red. So to recap, full throttle, fire a surge. If you are not in the optimal window, lower your throttle enough to fire a second surge with the aim to landing the throttle charge level in the optimal window, and as soon as you are in that green zone, fire the stampede to get through it as quick as possible. If you find the optimal window is too small, you can use an optimum consumable instead of the stampede, as I don't believe you can use them both at the same time, and this will increase the optimal window by 75% while slightly increasing the instability, but it'll give you more leeway. But do be careful, as once the 20-second optimum consumable runs out, the window will reduce again, which could put you into the red. It is possible this way, but it can be difficult, so I would suggest if the green zone is too small, just leave it completely. Now this technique is not for the faint of heart, and I have lost many a prospector in the process of practicing it, but it is a great way to get those higher mast rocks that you would otherwise have to leave behind, all the while remaining well hidden from any criminal opportunist. Some other good tips to staying safe while mining are: do not mine at night. Always mine in the daylight, as you will be lit up like a Christmas tree, and do not mine near outposts, as you are asking for trouble. By all means, use the outposts as a way to get to the planet or moon quicker, but fly a good distance away, greater than I'd say around 50 kilometers, that's usually safe enough. These locations are often frequented by ships, and some of them could be pirates looking for aiming practice, so do be careful. But that does it for this video. This loadout is going to give you the best all-round chance at achieving higher payouts while mining in a prospector and remaining as safe as possible. Again, a big thank you to Nexian from the UEMC for the details, and be sure to hit subscribe for more Star Citizen mining tips and tricks, as well as all things Star Citizen. Tick that notification bell if you would like to be notified when my videos go live. Hit the like button if you don't mind, it does the channel a big favour. And if you want to come and hang out over on twitch.tv/supermacbrothers, the link is in the description below. You can see me test and fail with this loadout. Again, I cannot do this without my patrons and channel members, so thank you guys so much for all of the support. It is truly appreciated. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.